What's up, everybody? Especially to you, my brother Junior. How's it? How's it? How's it? This is Zaldi. Welcome back to Talking Story About Smoking, Session 11, NICOCAINE. Last sesh was all about illogical loop and disassociation. As you disassociated yourself as all your fault and realizing the workings of the trap, you clearly see the barbs on the hooks of the Heisenberg hookahs. You becoming small kind akamai as we unravel some more. Wow, this session is out of control. This Portuguese has so much to say about it, but we're keeping them tight. Nicocaine. No such word, by the way. I believe there's a song about it, but I pretty much smooshed that word together from nicotine and cocaine. Nicocaine. Why? Because people think nicotine isn't really a drug. Us guys, current nicotine users and past nicotine users, are really actually normal, smart, and rational people. Except on why we wouldn't smoke or still smoking. Car goes on the deep end on the mechanics and details of nicotine. You already know about the fact that it is, quote, the fastest addictive drug known to mankind, and it can take just one cigarette to become hooked, end quote. Like I said, you can read his research about what other researchers validated and proven with science. He was a little brutal in calling us drug addicts and calling it poison, but really, it is. Let's take that apart. Poison is a chemical. Nicotine is a deadly chemical. If you injected the content of the nicotine of one cigarette into your vein, it would kill you. But on the flip side, you also have chemicals. You have an even more powerful drug manufacturing in you right now. It's called adrenaline. A small dose of that injected in your body could also kill you, but it could also resuscitate you. Adrenaline is nuts. Well, I got off the track a little bit, but because nicotine is a drug administered from outside your body, you now mess with your wonderful body God gave you. The imbalance now in your body after you forced the nicotine down your pipes, tripped up the chemical imbalance in your body, and it now feels like you all off when you get off the merry-go-round. It created what he called a little monster. I call it Puff, the naughty dragon. As soon as your imaginary friend Puff came to existence because you was one dumbass and forced the nicotine into you, that bugger was born. She started small, began nagging you. After you satisfy her with the cigarette, she get hungry again. You light one up and she happy, all smiles, but she got bigger every time you fed her. She kept getting bigger and then get satisfied because you feed her, and then she get hungrier and hungrier. The cycle is now one monster Ferris wheel. Was on little bicycle, but now it's on big Ferris wheel. Now, you try to boot her out by starving her, and seems like she is out the door, but really, she's like the shark from the movie Nemo, when Dory bumped her head and Bruce, the huge shark, got a whiff of her when she bumped her nose and blood came out. What happened? All his teeth fanged out like a switchblade. Power ready. Now, Puff, the naughty dragon, is as big as she is now because you never take the time to realize that it is something you created. You were the one that bred her into existence. You were the one that made excuses for her and believed that she gave you pleasure because you fed her the cigarettes. You was the one that believed that giving her a cigarette was actually making her relieve you, making her relief, and in turn giving you true relief. You was the one denying the truth that nicotine exits the body in hours and not days, making excuses for keep feeding her. You was the one thinking that would be super painful if you stopped feeding her and would be all boss up. Here's a little secret. You know her more than she knows you. Why? Because you kept her and grew her because of convenience. And you don't believe life could be a whole new chapter. You don't believe a whole new power source could be there. A whole new reversed person physically, mentally, and spiritually. That could be more whole than you are now. How, you ask? Coach her and show her that she never needed it. But you began to realize that you both needed you to understand her complexity, and that you have something that she needs to turn her into a new beautiful creature that will be your helper. That is what the hypnotist did to Carr. That is what Carr did to me. And that is what is happening right now. We are redefining the real reward. We are becoming more aware of her, and we are becoming more empowered through knowledge. You're paying attention to the wrong stuff, that's why. I have broken false cause and effect links by reframing and forcing your mind to reassess the logic of smoking. Imagine that. If it was really good for people, you would be the one giving it to your kids, giving it to your grandkids. No, you've been fooling yourself. So that was it. You're reassessing the logic of it. And I have also exposed the subconscious drivers on how you operate on autopilot and light one just because, just because. I still remember my friend Ed. He said, "Hey, Zaldi, I kind of envy you when I see you smokers just smoking. I see the relief. I see that, and then I think about, oh yeah, I think that would be cool. But then I see you guys standing in line, and you guys just puffing. You guys just puffing because you guys got to. You guys puffing just because. You guys just standing around. And you guys bored." Then I look at that, and it's pilau. That's ugly. And then I decide not to start smoking. That's brother Ed. Anyway, I have exposed the subconscious drivers of how you operate on autopilot right there. And we now demystifying the powers of Puff the Naughty Dragon. And most importantly, I've empowered you through knowledge. And you have gained 1 inch of manageability over Puff the Naughty Dragon. Well, we have more juicy stuff to cover, but this concludes session 11. The next one is session 12, Reformation, reforming through reframing. That session is way much more than just nicotine, NICOCAINE, whatever. Crazy. So with that, my brother Junior, hui ho.